Yo, what's going on everybody, welcome back to a brand new Hytale news episode, and today we'll be covering the brand new Hytale blog post that dropped last night. The blog post is called Progress Update May 30, 2020, and basically in this blog post Hytale went over the updated character customization system and throwable items, so we have a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. But before we do get into that, make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. I post a lot of Hytale videos weekly and you don't want to miss out on anything. Anytime there's anything new in Hytale, I will be sure to cover it in this channel, so make sure you do subscribe. Also, don't forget to leave a like, it does help and it takes no time, and let me know in the comments what your favorite thing from this blog post actually is. And for the last plug, I promise it's the last one, make sure you do follow Hytale Universe on Twitter. The link is in the top of the description. And with that being said, and without further ado, let's get right into the video. And it starts off with this. Hi everybody, in this post we're going to explore some under the hood improvements we've made to Hytale's character customization system. Changes that expand the range of characters you'll be able to create both in-game and throughout the use of Hytale's modding tools. We're also going to take a peek at Hytale's throwable items, for reasons that'll become clear. Alright, so with that being said, let's get started with the improvements to character customization. It's been a fair while since we've talked about character customization in Hytale. In our previous blog post on the subject, we introduced our fundamental goals and approach. Hytale character customization allows players to select from a variety of body options, hairstyles, and items of clothing. We're seeking to provide the ability to express yourself in a variety of styles, from modern dress to costumes and adventure mode inspired fantasy attire. In the time since that post, however, we have overhauled the way that Hytale handles color variations in game assets. This makes it much easier for both ourselves and future modders to provide a suite of expressive options for players to adorn themselves with. In this blog, we're going to explain how the new system works. And then they went on to explain what exactly they are saying, and they said, previously, creating a new color variation for an asset, such as a piece of clothing, meant creating a brand new texture. When you change the hair color from black to blue, for example, you effectively replace the entire texture being applied to the hair model. This system was functional, but it massively inflated the amount of textures needed while ultimately limiting how many options we could offer to our players. We've since implemented a new system called gradient mapping. Here's what it looks like in practice. And you guys can see an image of a gradient map example, and in this image you can see 4 different players using 4 different shirts. So as you guys can see above the players, there's a little bit of a color gradation, and if you check out the pattern of the color gradation, it fits the shirt perfectly, and if you wanted to change the color you would have to replace the entire texture. But now you can apply different gradation to make it much easier to actually get a shirt, for example, with a lot of colors. And they also said it's possible to set the colors of certain parts of a texture and leave others customizable. In the example above, the green stripe on tracksuit trousers is a customizable area, while the dark blue hue of the trousers themselves is fixed in a texture file. What's more, the properties of the gradient file can be used to define different material types, from coarse fabrics to high contrast metallics and soft textures like hair. And then they went on to show this video of a player's hair just changing color. Modders will be able to take advantage of these techniques when creating their own content. You'll be able to create and apply textures with gradient mappable areas in Hytale Model Maker. You'll also be able to implement custom gradient maps, introducing new color schemes and materials to Hytale's palette, and further expand the range of options available for existing items. Our goal is to allow players to express themselves using a wide variety of looks and styles that we provide as part of the game itself, and then empower modders to expand this set with their own creations. Gradient mapping takes that further, by allowing modders to provide customizable new assets for players to further personalize themselves. So basically this new system will pretty much make it a lot easier for mods to actually customize characters with different different colors, different assets and a lot of stuff, and it will also be helping the players because obviously we'll be getting a wider variety of assets, which basically mean that there's gonna be a lot more stuff we'll be able to actually customize ourselves. While we have a specific vision for Hytale's art and design style, we encourage modders to use the tool we provide to take the game in new directions. Below, you can see an example of some custom anime inspired costumes that have been created as a personal project by our team member Stain. And you guys can see an image of a dog, a Quebec using a cheerleader clothes, I guess. Then we have a normal player, a Farron and a Trork, which all look very detailed, and as you guys can see, it is 100% sure that the customization in Hytale will allow us to create a lot of unique designs. Alright, so now we'll go over to the second part of the blog post, and it is really interesting. It's basically called throwing stuff. So they started off with, we have hinted at throwable items a few times on the Hytale blog, including a number of screenshots and that one pigeon video. If you guys don't know what video they are referring to, here's the clip. We thought we'd close out this post by showing some of the work that has been done to making throwable stuff look, feel and sound the way it should. It turns out that throwing stuff is fun. First up, here's an example of the kind of accuracy you need to develop if you'd like to become a master of throwing a spear. So obviously there's going to be a bullet drop system, which basically means that the farther you are away from the target that you want to hit, it will be much harder, because you know how gravity works. When you throw something, it tends to go to the ground. You guys know what I mean. I'm not gonna explain that obviously, but you guys get the point. It's gonna be very interesting, and obviously you need a certain type of skill to actually master this technique. This clip also showcases some recent improvements to our audio system. Stereo panning can now be applied to sound effects on an item by item basis, making weapon swings more immersive by reflecting the directional movement of the weapon in the audio itself. While sharp objects like spears become embedded in the objects they collide with, others might bounce or break. In this clip below, you can see how thrown debris interacts with the environment after it is thrown. And you guys saw that the physics actually look very interesting. You guys saw that the rock hit the tree and then obviously it bounced back to the ground, and it bounced a little bit in the ground until it actually stopped, and all of those physics were actually animated, and it looks really realistic, and that does make the game more immersive because it actually feels like you're throwing a rock. Because if you throw a rock and then it just hits the tree and disappears, or just hits the tree and doesn't do any animation at all, it wouldn't be very immersive. It will actually be kind of weird. You wouldn't really feel like you were throwing a rock, but with this new physics, that problem is 100% solved. Now there's one particular throwable object that we've received a lot of questions about since we unveiled it back in January. We're not saying that this whole section has been just an excuse to show this next clip, but well, and you guys are about to see a very interesting video. Roll it. So yes, as you guys can see, everyone wanted to know, so here is the answer. It is indeed possible to throw poop in Hytale. It's gonna be really fun to see how that works out. You can see in the video that the player that was hit with the poop actually lost a little bit of health, so I mean that does make sense obviously, but this is gonna be a very interesting mechanic. I feel like this is gonna be used a lot for trolling, definitely, but yeah, pretty unique, pretty nice. And that's basically it for this blog post. We got a lot of new information about customization in Hytale, We also got some new information on throwable items. I want to know what you guys think about this blog post. Did you like it? And let me know what your favorite part of it was. Do you like the customization better? I'm pretty sure that most of the comments will be something like, I like the last video best, where they throw the poop, because that was also my favorite part. But with that being said, that's pretty much it for the video. Leave a like, leave a comment, and if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you do subscribe with notifications on, because you don't want to miss out on any Hytale content. And yeah, that's been it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.